The massive chamber of the Galactic Council hummed with quiet conversations when the human delegation entered. Commander J. Park walked with calm confidence, his dark eyes scanning the room filled with alien representatives from dozens of different planetary systems. Behind him, a small team of human diplomats and technical experts moved in synchronized steps. The chamber was enormous, designed to accommodate beings of various sizes and shapes. Crystalline entities from Proxima towered like living glass sculptures. Aquarian diplomats with tentacle-like appendages shifted in their liquid environments. Silicon-based life forms from the Granite Confederacy stood motionless, their rocky surfaces reflecting the soft blue lighting. Krell, the Proximan ambassador, looked down at the human delegation with obvious amusement. His translucent body seemed to shimmer with barely contained laughter. The humans looked so small, so fragile compared to the massive alien representatives. Their spacecraft waiting outside appeared like tiny metal insects next to the enormous ships of other galactic civilizations. "The humans have arrived," announced the council moderator, a multi-limbed creature with a voice that sounded like wind passing through hollow reeds. "Commander J. Park will present their initial diplomatic proposal." Jay stepped forward. He wore a simple dark uniform with minimal insignia, carefully designed to be both practical and representative. Around his neck hung a small pendant, a traditional Earth artifact that seemed out of place among the advanced technological surroundings. "Distinguished representatives of the Galactic Council," Jay began, his voice clear and steady. "Humanity seeks peaceful engagement and mutual understanding." Several ambassadors exchanged glances. Some looked amused. Others looked curious. The Granite Confederacy representatives remained completely still, their rocky surfaces revealing nothing. Krell couldn't contain his amusement. "Peaceful engagement," he said, his crystalline structure vibrating with what seemed like humor. "Your species has barely mastered interstellar travel. What could you possibly offer to civilizations thousands of years more advanced, the human?" Technical expert Elena Rodriguez stood slightly behind Jay. She carried a small holographic device, her fingers subtly moving across its surface. No one in the council chamber seemed to notice her quiet preparation. Jay did not react to Krell's dismissive comment. Instead, he continued his presentation, discussing human cultural diversity, technological potential, and willingness to learn. His words were simple but carefully chosen, painting a picture of a young but ambitious species. As he spoke, something changed in the chamber's atmosphere. The initial mockery began to shift. Some ambassadors leaned forward, listening more carefully. The Aquarian diplomats adjusted their liquid environments, a sign of increasing interest. Elena's holographic device suddenly projected a series of complex mathematical equations and technological schematics. They appeared to be simple at first glance, but revealed increasing complexity the longer one looked. The equations seemed to dance and transform, showing layers of understanding that went far beyond initial appearances. Krell's amusement started to fade. The mathematical projections were unlike anything the council had seen before. They seemed to follow rules of computation that challenged existing galactic scientific understanding. "Interesting," muttered a Granite Confederacy representative. The first words they had spoken during the entire session. Jay finished his presentation with a simple statement. "We come in peace, but we are prepared for any possibility." The last phrase hung in the air, its meaning both a promise and a subtle warning. The human delegation had presented themselves not as conquerors, but as potential partners, intelligent, curious, and unexpectedly complex. As the session concluded, the alien representatives found themselves discussing the humans in hushed, serious tones. The initial laughter had disappeared, replaced by a growing sense of uncertainty and respect. Outside the council chamber, human ships waited, small, unassuming, but holding secrets that would soon change the galactic landscape forever. The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, punctuated by distant star clusters and the silent movement of spacecraft. Patrol ships from various galactic civilizations continued their routine monitoring, never suspecting the strange events about to unfold. Elena Rodriguez sat in the human monitoring station, her fingers dancing across holographic screens. Something felt different. The data streams showed subtle anomalies that most would have missed, tiny fluctuations in space-time signatures that seemed almost invisible. First, it was the small research vessel, Horizon 7. One moment, it was tracking a standard interstellar route near the Orion Nebula, and the next, complete silence. No distress signal, no debris, no energy signature, just emptiness where a spacecraft had been moments before. Communication officers across different alien civilizations initially dismissed it as a technical glitch. The Proximan communication network ran diagnostics. The Aquarian tracking systems performed multiple checks. Nothing seemed wrong. But then it happened again. The merchant ship Celestial Trader vanished near the Andromeda trade routes. Then the scientific exploration vessel Discovery disappeared while studying a complex quantum field. Each time, the result was the same. Total absence, no trace, no explanation. Sung Kim, the human strategic operations director, began compiling a classified report. His computer screens filled with data points, each representing a vanished human vessel. The patterns were too precise to be random, yet too complex to be immediately understood. Krell, the Proximan ambassador, received the first official report 3 standard galactic weeks after the initial disappearance. His crystalline body vibrated with a mixture of confusion and growing concern. "This is impossible," he muttered, reviewing the data multiple times. Alien intelligence agencies began their investigations. Reconnaissance drones were sent to the last known locations of the missing ships. They returned with incomplete data, strange quantum readings that defied traditional scientific understanding. Some alien experts suggested equipment malfunction. Others proposed potential alien interference. A few radical theorists even suggested that the human ships had been destroyed by unknown cosmic phenomena, but Elena knew better. She noticed something most missed: the vanished ships left behind microscopic quantum signatures. Tiny, almost invisible markers that suggested something more complex was happening. The ships weren't destroyed. They were somewhere else. The Galactic Council began holding emergency sessions. Representatives from different civilizations argued, speculated, and grew increasingly nervous. The humans remained calm, offering limited information and maintaining a diplomatic silence. "We are investigating," was all Commander J. Park would say during brief communication sessions. As more ships disappeared, a pattern emerged. The vanishings occurred in strategically different sectors of explored space. They weren't random. They seemed calculated, precise, almost like a complex mathematical equation being solved across galactic distances. Conspiracy theories spread across communication networks. Some suggested the humans had discovered some kind of advanced cloaking technology. Others whispered about potential weapon systems that could make entire ships simply disappear. The silence was more terrifying than any potential threat. Alien military commanders began preparing defensive strategies. Tracking systems were upgraded. Monitoring protocols were enhanced. Yet the human ships continued to vanish, leaving behind nothing but questions and growing tension. Sung Kim watched the developing situation with careful eyes. He understood something the other civilizations had not yet realized. This was not an accident. This was a deliberate demonstration. The humans were showing the galaxy something profound, that they were not what they appeared to be. As another ship disappeared into the cosmic void, leaving behind only a faint quantum signature, the message became clear. Humanity was playing a game far more complex than anyone had imagined, and no one yet understood the rules. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with nervous energy. Representatives from different planetary systems huddled in small groups, their conversations low and tense. More human ships had vanished, and no one understood why. Krell, the Proximan ambassador, his crystalline body flickering with anxiety, stood near the central holographic display. The screen showed multiple star systems, each marked with the last known locations of disappeared human vessels. The pattern was too precise to be random. Elena Rodriguez watched from a distant observation point. She understood something the other civilizations did not. This was a carefully planned demonstration. Each vanished ship was a message, a complex puzzle waiting to be solved. Military commanders from various alien civilizations began preparing defensive strategies. The Aquarian Collective increased their patrol frequencies. The Granite Confederacy activated advanced scanning technologies. Everyone was watching, waiting, wondering. Sung Kim compiled another classified report. His computer screens filled with quantum signatures, strange energy readings, and complex mathematical models that seemed to dance between reality and possibility. The data suggested something revolutionary was happening. Rumors spread faster than official communications. Some suggested the humans had discovered advanced cloaking technology. Others whispered about potential dimensional shifting capabilities. The truth remained hidden, just beyond understanding. Commander J. Park remained calm during diplomatic communications. His responses were measured, professional, giving away nothing. "We are conducting routine space exploration," he would say, his dark eyes revealing nothing of the complex strategy behind the scenes. The human ships continued to vanish strategically, not randomly, but with a precision that suggested careful planning. Each disappearance was like a chess move, calculated and purposeful. Alien scientists worked overtime, analyzing the minimal data available. Quantum physicists from multiple civilizations collaborated, trying to understand the mysterious signatures left behind by the vanished ships. Complex equations filled research stations across different planetary systems. Tension grew with each passing standard galactic week. The initial mockery had transformed into a deep, uncomfortable uncertainty. The humans, once considered a young, somewhat primitive species, were now viewed with growing respect and fear. Intelligence agencies from various civilizations began sharing information. Reconnaissance missions were launched, searching for any trace of the missing human vessels. But each mission returned with more questions than answers. Elena noticed something most missed. The quantum signatures were not just random data. They were a message, a complex communication method that most alien civilizations were not yet advanced enough to understand. Sung Kim prepared another report for human leadership. His analysis suggested they were demonstrating technological capabilities far beyond what the Galactic Council had initially perceived. Each vanished ship was a subtle warning, a demonstration of potential. The Granite Confederacy representatives remained still, their rocky surfaces reflecting the growing tension in the chamber. They understood something profound was happening, but the full implications remained unclear. Krell's crystalline body vibrated with increasing anxiety. The humans were playing a game with rules no one else understood. Each disappearance was a move in a complex strategic dance. Diplomatic channels remained open, but communication became increasingly careful. The humans responded to inquiries with professional courtesy, revealing nothing of their true capabilities. As more ships vanished, the galactic community realized a fundamental truth. Humanity was not what they had initially believed. They were something more, something unexpected. The performance continued, a silent demonstration of technological capabilities that challenged everything the Galactic Council thought they knew about space exploration and potential. No one knew what would happen next. But everyone watched, waited, and wondered. The tension continued to grow, a slow-building pressure that would soon reach a breaking point. The Galactic Council chamber fell silent when Commander J. Park appeared on the massive holographic display. Behind him, dozens of human ships materialized from seemingly nowhere, flickering into existence like digital ghosts. "Distinguished representatives," Jay began, his voice calm and clear, "we would like to explain our recent activities." With a simple gesture, complex holographic projections surrounded the chamber. Mathematical equations, technological schematics, and quantum mechanics diagrams danced around the alien representatives. Each projection revealed layers of scientific understanding that were decades, perhaps centuries ahead of current galactic technology. Elena Rodriguez stood beside Jay, her fingers subtly controlling the information display. The projections showed quantum displacement technologies, dimensional shifting capabilities and adaptive camouflage systems that defied conventional understanding of space travel. Krell, the Proximan ambassador, watched in stunned silence. His crystalline body flickered, with confusion and growing respect. The human ships that had seemingly vanished were not destroyed or lost. They had been perfectly capable of existing in multiple dimensional spaces simultaneously. Quantum displacement, Jay explained, allows our ships to exist in multiple locations at once. We can move between dimensional layers, become invisible, and reappear at will. The Aquarian diplomats adjusted their liquid environments, their tentacle-like appendages moving with increased agitation. The Granite Confederacy representatives remained motionless, but their rocky surfaces seemed to vibrate with intense concentration. Each projection revealed another layer of human technological capability. Advanced computational systems that could predict and manipulate space-time. Communication networks that could transmit information across impossible distances. Energy management technologies that made traditional power systems look primitive. Sung Kim stepped forward, presenting technical details. Our ships are not just vehicles, he explained. They are complex quantum computing systems capable of adaptive problem-solving and instantaneous spatial relocation. The demonstrations continued. Human ships appeared and disappeared, showing their ability to move through space with impossible precision. They could split, merge, and transform in ways that challenged everything the Galactic Council understood about spacecraft design. Elena's presentation showed how these technologies were not just theoretical, they were practical, tested, and ready for deployment. Each slide revealed another layer of human technological advancement that had been carefully hidden during initial diplomatic encounters. The initial mockery from the first contact meeting now seemed embarrassingly naive. The humans had not been technologically inferior. They had been strategically patient, waiting for the right moment to reveal their true capabilities. Jay's final statement was simple but powerful. We do not seek conflict. We seek understanding and potential cooperation. The Galactic Council representatives looked at each other, a mixture of fear, respect, and uncertainty filling the chamber. The human delegation had just demonstrated technologies that changed everything they understood about space exploration and potential technological development. Krell was the first to speak. How long have you possessed these capabilities? He asked, his crystalline structure vibrating with a combination of curiosity and nervousness. Long enough, Jay responded with a subtle smile. The projections continued, each showing more complex technological demonstrations. Adaptive AI systems that could predict and solve complex mathematical problems in milliseconds. Energy generation, technologies that could potentially revolutionize entire planetary infrastructures. Sung Kim's technical explanations revealed that these were not just random technological advancements. They were carefully developed, meticulously tested systems that represented a quantum leap in scientific understanding. As the presentation concluded, the message was clear. Humanity was not a young, primitive species to be dismissed. They were a sophisticated, technologically advanced civilization that had been carefully waiting for the right moment to reveal their true potential. The Galactic Council had laughed at human ships. Now they could only watch in stunned silence. The silence in the Galactic Council chamber was deafening. Hours after the human technological demonstration, representatives from different planetary systems struggled to comprehend the new reality. Commander J. Park stood quietly, watching the alien diplomats process their newfound understanding of humanity. Elena Rodriguez and Sung Kim remained beside him, their calm demeanor speaking volumes about their confidence. Krell, the Proximan ambassador, was the first to break the silence. Your capabilities, they change everything we understand about technological development, he said, his crystalline body flickering with a mixture of respect and uncertainty. The human delegation did not gloat. They presented a simple proposal. A new framework of galactic cooperation based on mutual understanding and technological exchange. No demands, no threats, just an open invitation to collaborate. Alien civilizations that had previously mocked humanity now listened with intense concentration. The quantum displacement technologies, adaptive AI systems, and dimensional shifting capabilities demonstrated by humans represented a technological leap that most had not considered possible. The Aquarian diplomats were the first to approach. Their tentacle-like appendages moved carefully, showing a newfound respect. They requested detailed technical exchanges, hoping to understand the fundamental principles behind human advancements. Sung Kim began explaining the core principles. Each explanation was carefully crafted, revealing just enough to demonstrate capability without giving away complete technological secrets. It was a delicate dance of information sharing and strategic restraint. Elena Rodriguez managed the diplomatic interactions. Her approach was calm, professional, showing that humanity's technological superiority did not translate into a desire for conquest or domination. Instead, they presented themselves as potential partners in galactic exploration. The Granite Confederacy, known for their analytical approach, began running complex computational models. They were trying to understand the mathematical foundations of human technologies. Each analysis revealed layers of complexity that challenged their existing scientific understanding. J. Park's strategy was clear. Humanity would not force its technologies onto other civilizations. They would offer, collaborate, and allow others to adapt at their own pace. This approach was subtle but powerful. Diplomatic channels that had been tense and suspicious now began to transform. The initial fear started giving way to curiosity. Alien scientific teams requested collaborative research opportunities. Technology exchange programs were proposed. The human ships that had once been considered small and insignificant now represented something entirely different. They were living proof of humanity's potential, adaptive, intelligent, and capable of extraordinary technological innovation. Krell approached Jay directly, a gesture unprecedented in galactic diplomatic history. "We misjudged your species," he said, his crystalline structure showing genuine respect. "You have demonstrated not just technological capability, but remarkable diplomatic restraint." The paradigm shift was not just technological, it was philosophical. Humanity had entered the galactic stage not as conquerors, but as potential collaborators. They showed advanced capabilities without displaying aggressive intentions. Scientific institutions across different planetary systems began recalibrating their research priorities. Human technologies suggested entire new fields of study. Quantum mechanics, dimensional physics, and adaptive computational systems would never be the same. As the Galactic Council session concluded, the initial laughter from their first contact meeting seemed like a distant, embarrassing memory. The humans had transformed from a species to be dismissed into a civilization, to be respected. Elena, Sung, and Jay exchanged subtle glances. Their carefully planned demonstration had achieved its purpose. They had shown humanity's potential without creating fear or conflict. The final message was clear. Humanity had arrived on the galactic stage, not with weapons or threats, but with intelligence, innovation, and a genuine desire for mutual understanding.